Wake up!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Married to Film. I'm Ralph, and this is Shamanda.
That's who I am, and that's who he is.
And right now we're at episode 5 of season 3 of Attack on Titan. This one is called Reply.
Yeah.
It's a lot going down. It's taking different turns, man. It's not even focused on Titans no more right now, really. It's crazy.
I do have to say that I love the shots in this one.
Yeah.
The shots are amazing. It makes me feel like it's not anime.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what Flagon was doing now.
What's all that about? You mean you haven't heard yet? Pretty much all of the military higher-ups are meeting inside the castle. They're finally disbanding the scout regiment. See? They're building those gallows to hang the commander from. He's probably getting his final judgment as we speak. If you disband the scout regiment, it will be akin to humanity tossing its spear aside. ᴄʟɪᴛᴏ and ᴄᴟᴡᴜ. All of humanity would split, and a civil war would quickly erupt, even if the walls are not breached again. ᴄʟɪᴛᴏ is suffering from a perpetual shortage of food. It may not be Titans that breach ᴄᴟᴡᴜ. It's entirely possible that the residents of ᴄʟɪᴛᴏ will do it first.
Yeah.
ᴄᴟᴡᴜ must be reclaimed. If humanity is to have any hope for the future, then that is the way.
It seems you misunderstand what this is. The
What?
reason we brought you here is not to discuss our future within the walls.
What?
Nor is it on account of something as simple as a murder. Clause 6 of the Charter of Humanity. One must never prioritize their own gain over humanity's survival.
What?
You've broken the most sacred of laws.
Indeed. You have refused to hand over Eren Yeager time and time again, and through this selfish action you violated our charter.
But Eren is vital for the reclamation of ᴄʟɪᴛᴜ.
That is not for the scouts to determine.
Eren Yeager is a Titan whose abilities are far from understood.
How are we to know that you aren't working together now?
I am deeply disturbed to hear that you believe we would align ourselves with the Scout Regiment. There is nothing more senseless than humans killing each other. What if the Titans did manage to break through the wall only to find next to no one inside it? The poor monsters might have to go hungry.
Very well, then. Let's begin deliberations.
Your Majesty, with your permission.
Why did he say that? Maybe it's a ploy.
Right.
Now then, in the King's name, I'll announce your final judgment. Commander Erwin Smith, you have been found guilty of violating Clause 6 of the Charter of Humanity. Your sentence is death.
Duh.
What about your training?
Well, who is she?
Walrose has fallen! The gates have been breached!
Whoa.
It was just like ᴄʟᴜᴜ. The armored and colossal titans appeared out of thin air and broke through both gates in Colonist District. Currently, countless refugees are flooding this way from the east.
Secure an evacuation route. Order all available garrison troops to make for the eastern front and defend the people. We must get those evacuees into ᴄᴟᴜᴜ. Hurry and go.
No, wait! I want every last gate to ᴄᴟᴜᴜ closed off. Not a single refugee will be allowed inside this wall.
What?
But all those people, everyone in ᴄʟɪᴛᴜ will die. You're commanding us to stand by while half of humanity gets devoured?
But
They're
Eren
playing.
said if we let them in, then we'll end up in a civil war. The rule of law must be protected above all. The government mustn't fail.
We can't be sure. It's only a possibility. There's no guarantee that will...
It's enough that the possibility exists.
Who should decide?
Yeah.
Who has the right?
Yeah.
What's taking so long? Go do your duty. Ignoring my orders is an act of treason.
He said when you're gonna have to pick a side.
Guess I'm a traitor.
Say what?
I refuse to shut the gates on those people.
You dare to...
I stand with him.
They came back.
Premier Zachary.
Who the heck are you?
Did you find the way they reacted surprising? Or was it expected?
There we go.
Surprising? Not a bit.
Premier Zachary, what's the meaning of this?
Yeah.
That report you all just heard was fabricated.
Yes.
There's no cause for alarm. As of this moment, there have been no reports of any Titan attack.
Yeah.
Bastard! This was all a farce!
It wasn't his plan. It was mine.
Come on!
Pixis! When you asked me, I declared to you in earnest that the Garrison Regiment is not aligned with the Survey Corps. We are not aligned with your assembly either. That's right. Although I agree with Erwin on several points, I was still willing to put my trust in your government. So long as you could prove yourselves to be the better choice for
But
humanity. Because you have knowledge that we don't about both the Titans and the walls.
Yep.
Had you shown that you actually gave a damn about protecting the people you govern, I would have stood by and watched as you sent Erwin to the gallows. In fact, depending on the choice you made, all of us were prepared to forfeit our lives.
Wow.
It's true that we soldiers know next to nothing about the Titans and their powers. But I dare say that despite this fact, humanity is safer in our hands.
What?
It would appear that you've misunderstood what this is. You see, it's far more than a mere threat. It's a coup d'etat.
Woo!
Interior police have been subdued. The
All
capital
right.
is secured, sir.
Well done. The king's a pretender. He'll be exposed and replaced.
This is real? You plan to...
Given the scenario you were presented with, your choice to close Cena's gates broke Clause 6 of the Charter of Humanity. Furthermore, you installed a puppet king in order to seize the reins of power for yourselves.
Yep.
This crime is known as treason.
You are going to the gallows.
Looks like you managed to pull it off. Wait, you don't seem happy. Humanity is on a new path.
Yeah.
One far more dangerous than the last.
That was so freaking sweet.
The coup was successful. Premier Zachary now has full control of the capital and government.
Premiere?
For the time being, at least. It's all written right there. The abuse of power.
That's
the
good.
bogus
Nice.
charges against the scouts. And that King Fritz was both a puppet and a fraud. It's clear that we only acted in self-defense. In short, we're no longer criminals.
Nice. Don't know that's right.
They beat us? Looks like Erwin's gamble paid off.
That it did. But it wasn't just Erwin who gambled. Many people had to make a lot of hard choices for this to work.
We intend to replace Fritz with a monarch born of the true royal bloodline. They'll be responsible for leading humanity, and that includes us.
I get what you're saying, but frankly, why should the people believe that your king is any more legitimate than the one you deposed?
No one knows who to trust at this point.
Like Commander Pixis was saying, they have far more knowledge than us, and they've kept humanity going at least this far. Even if they would have watched as half of the human race perished, it's better than letting us go extinct.
I've hated those arrogant bastards for a long time. Those self-assured pigs. They feed from gilded troughs and pretend their shit was gold.
Know what? I think I might grow to like them. If you hadn't done it today, I would have given it a shot myself before I kicked the bucket. Why did you risk it all just to bring them down?
I've had this dream. Something to prove. Ever since I was a child.
Erwin gave me this scout report from an investigation on Lord Reiss's land. It details a certain incident. It was the day ᴄʟɪᴛᴏ was breached. I'll summarize the most important parts from the beginning. So, as far as regional lords went, Lord Reiss was fair and well respected by the people. He had 5 children. The most well-known of them was his eldest daughter, Frida. She was a down-to-earth girl who even the peasants adored. With the fall of ᴄʟɪᴛᴏ having plunged the world into chaos, bandits raided and set fire to the only chapel around. Unfortunately for them, the entire Reiss family had gathered there to pray. And so, the entire family was massacred by bandits that night, save one. Only Rod Reiss managed to escape with his life. This incident occurred just a few days before Historia's mother was killed by the interior police.
Yeah.
So we know that in the immediate wake of losing his family, Rod Reiss sought out Historia. And something tells me that it wasn't out of a newfound paternal affection.
Well, she is of royal blood. Or do you think that bloodline has some other secret?
It's possible, but I'm not sure yet. What really stood out to me, at least, was the fact that large parts of the chapel were destroyed.
This is the underground chapel they were just talking about, right?
Lord Reiss was the only witness. No one confirmed his story. Then Lord Reiss rebuilt the chapel with his personal fortune almost immediately. What was his rush? The story can only make sense if it involved a Titan attack, but it's suspicious enough to merit investigation, and it's the only lead we have.
What is it in his mouth?
What the hell?
Man. Man.
What the heck was that?
We have to get there as soon as possible. Before Eren ends up in someone's stomach.
A Titan gains intelligence and the power to transform by eating a human being with that power. If that's actually true, how and when did Eren first become a Titan?
Right.
And who did he have to eat to gain his powers?
He bit a couple people, but I don't think he ate anybody. I mean, I don't know.
Historia?
What?
Well, the last time we saw Eren, he was laying on his side, and her and her dad were hugging.
Okay.
That was the last scene that we saw with them.
Okay.
For him to wake up shirtless in the icicle.
Right. Wow, that's nuts. So they're underground.
So they're underground. It was an underground, so...
Underground chapel.
The underground trap there. Yeah, the underground chapel was the place where the royal family went. And that's the place that Hanji was just talking about as far as the underground. I mean, the chapel itself was the place where they used to come and pray or whatever. They used to have activities or whatever. But the massacre happened in that chapel. It was destroyed partially, but the Reiss family rebuilt it immediately. And it was something about that, but I think it's the underground portion, which is probably where they are. Along with that, because the interior police had already kidnapped them, so he has something to do with them. I guess that's his protection. Maybe they know that he's a real king. He has to have some type of protection.
Right.
I'm thinking, because he's still royal family, right?
Yeah, but the biggest story was there was a big elaborate plan to take down the government, and they did. They did.
This
Erwin,
was
man,
one of
this
season so far, because this is only episode 5. So far this season has been immaculate. For real. The way that they went about it, it was like the best court scene besides Better Call Saul that I've seen so far. The purpose was to disband the scouts. They wanted to kill Erwin, and they wanted to disband and discredit the scouts. They didn't want them anymore because they wanted the protection of whatever. And we found out so much in this one little scene with the government and with the MPs and everyone else. So they fabricated the story of Wall Maria being breached, or Wall Rose falling by Titans. They made it seem like it was the Colossal Titan that came through and all this kind of stuff. And the Armor Titan. Well, this was all in the midst of the conviction of Commander Erwin. And they had just put out the verdict because he basically broke the law. That clause 6 that they were talking about, he had broke the law, and they were like, "Yep, so your punishment is going to be death by hanging immediately." They had set up the gallows and everything. They was like ready to just go ahead and be over with it. The whole time the king is sitting there like this.
I know. I'm like, dude.
He had no say so. The council
didn't even blink.
The council, which consisted of the 4 men that was sitting on the stage. When it was decision making time, it was just those 4. The king was not involved. He was just sitting there the whole time. It was one main guy that just kept doing all the talking and everything. He was like, Commander Erwin, what? You're a threat to humanity. That's basically what you are. So we're just going to go ahead and hang you and call it a day. So they were like, yeah. So they got the news that Wall Rose had fallen. Premier Zachary came in. He was like, hey, after the fact that they said no, this is what I want y'all to do. We're going to go out here. We're going to protect the people. The guy turned around and was like, no, we don't want any of those people inside the walls. Keep them outside the walls. Your job is to protect the government. Us. We don't care about the people. He spilled all the beans.
Sure did.
All the tea was spilled. Every last bit of it.
Sure
in
did.
the room full of MPs after Commander Fritzl said that he did not support the scouts. And it came back full circle. Because when the stuff got out, when the secrets came out, Commander Fritzl said, I failed to mention that I said the truth. I didn't support the scouts in this manner. But I didn't say I was behind y'all either. As far as the government. When Premier Zachary came in the door, they were like, what in the world? Because they had guns drawn. They was like, hey, we heard the truth. We heard it. So it was fabricated. It hadn't happened. But now that we know that you're not for the people, we are for the people. And we can't stand by a government that's not.
Took him down.
That was like the best scene ever.
Took him down.
Hands down, the best.
Yeah. All right.
It's
good stuff.
Yeah, it's Zachary to Erwin, their conversation was it was touchy and it was on point too. Much needed for him to hear.
For sure.
Because he was basically just the guilt that he was feeling with all of everything, protecting Eren. He said, should I just let them capture him? I mean, and then just kill me? Because it seemed like everything that I'm doing is just too much. And Zachary was like, you know what? You got enough burden on your shoulders right now. He was like, maybe death would have been easier for you. Because the guilt that you're feeling now and the burden that you're carrying is a little bit too much for you to be living day to day. He was like, you're going to have to let some of that go. He was like, I feel relieved telling them jokers what I felt.
Right.
He was like, it felt good.
Felt good.
He said it felt good. So yeah, I guess we're getting ready to find out what's going on with the underground chapel.
All right, so let us know what you guys thought of that one.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next time. We love y'all.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Wake up.